welcome to the Startup Superhero Series. I'm Heidi Hubling of the Stubbs, Alderton, and Markiles Preccelerator. Today we're featuring Chris Bechtel of Growth Engine Labs. Chris' specialties are in growth marketing and sales acceleration. Good to have you here, Chris.
Thanks, Heidi. Thanks for having me.
So we'll get started. What do you think is the most important thing for driving growth for early stage companies?
I think really the most important thing is really the market. The being in the right section of the market, really focused on customer needs. I think that most startups, start with a hypothesis that usually comes from personal experience. But people often forget there's many potential buyers of that startup's initial idea. There's a problem, there's a pain that needs to be solved, and I think sort of the biggest barrier is not really focusing on the right growth segment within that market. So I think first and foremost, it's really about making sure you're really in a strong market where the customer segment's underserved. And I think then, it's really about then focus. So it's really about focusing on the right section of the market, really understanding who you are marketing to, and that's really going to dictate the value propositions you use and what channels you use to acquire them.
Absolutely. And then going back to barriers, talk a little bit about the most common barrier you think to early stage success.
I think really, the same is really about focus. I think because with every entrepreneur, it's both a blessing and a curse. You have that creative mind to be able to, come up with unique solutions to common problems, right? But then the barrier often comes from sort of overthinking and questioning all of those ideas and then not actually being able to focus. Because essentially every startup is a hypothesis, and then when it comes to marketing that hypothesis, those are also a set of hypotheses. And so the key is really focusing and prioritizing a series of tests.
And then how do you find, for an early stage startup, how do you find the right people to surround them with to help drive traction and growth?
I think that's a great question, and one that often many founders struggle with in terms of how do I have a co-founder, who's my initial founding team. So a lot of the A starts with what's the stage that you're in, right? Really identifies, what kinds of people. Do you have people that are, if you're already at sort of product market fit and you're ready to scale, you need people that have had experience really scaling, right? But in the early days, you really need people that can kind of do many things, are willing to do many things, and are able to then also focus on those core things that get us to the next stage of validating product market fit and identifying the actual, acquisition channels that are going to help us get to that next stage and hopefully get some more capital to start scaling.
Okay, very, very important. Finally, what's your favorite thing about being a mentor here at the Preccelerator program? What drove you to join us?
Well, first of all, it's a great community. There's great people here, and I just really love helping people. I mean, that's why I do what I do, I think, and helping people get clarity. Because people have so much passion, but it's hard. It is really, really hard, and so I love the joy I see in people's face when they sort of get clarity, at least what I'm supposed to focus on for the next week or two, and get unstuck. And so I think that's really what I enjoy the most about being here at Stubbs.
Yeah, community and that sense of empathy, among advisors and mentors and other entrepreneurs that are advising. That's really important. It's been really greatly beneficial. Well, thank you for being here. It's great to have you, and we'll see you next time for the Startup Superhero Series.